Now, when the WandaVision trailer racks up 53 million views in just 24 hours, the biggest trailer debut for any streaming show, which also outperformed multiple Super Bowl spots, including for MCU movies, it's insane. Well, it becomes a lot easier to Disney Plus people. That Disney Plus verb, it wasn't birthed in positivity, but it's fun to say. It's fun Disney Plusing people. It's going quite well. And for instance, Samuel L. Jackson just got Disney Plus, and I think he was a lot more into it after WandaVision's trailer debut was so strong. And he has just signed on to the lead of a Marvel Disney Plus show that is being fast-tracked. That's what Variety reported. They said there's a secret Disney Plus show, and Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury is going to be the star of it. Now, some of you are thinking it's going to be Agents of S.W.O.R.D. No, it's not going to be. I mean, will characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. get promoted? I don't think so. We'll talk about that a little later in this video. But this is a Secret Invasion show. I've been telling you that they're doing a Secret Invasion show over on Disney Plus for a while now, and I'm telling you that this is it. I heard from my sources before they want to do a Secret Invasion show, and I'm hearing from my sources today that this is that show. So the MCU is expanding. So you might be like, hey, Grace, isn't Secret Invasion supposed to be a movie? Well, listen to this. So the MCU is expanding so quickly, moving from 3 to 4 movies a year starting in 2021, which is next year. There's just too much story for the films alone to support. There's just not enough room. But you know what has like 8 to 10 hours of story? Streaming shows. So thanks to WandaVision's immediate success out of the gate, that was so crucial, not just for that show, but for what Kevin Feige wants to do overall. I can see a very near future where the MCU has streaming shows used for character development and to set up big action pieces, and then you have those big action pieces on the big screen. So you're moving your audience, you're telling story, you're maneuvering pieces into place on Disney Plus, and then bam, it comes time for the big event, and you have everyone head out to the multiplex. I mean, it's an amazing business model. It's a blow your mind amazing business model. I mean, it's shockingly good. It would allow the MCU to tell a story unlike any franchise before, which they're already doing. But it would have the nuance of streaming shows, which we feel, people are starting to miss that in all forms of entertainment. Streaming is spoiling us. So Feige says, I'm going to incorporate streaming into my large story. Remember, Feige's telling just one big story. So he's like, I'm not going to, have to compete with streaming or move to streaming. I'm going to weave it into the story I'm already telling. So again, you'd have the nuance of streaming shows, but yet still the big screen action of blockbusters. I mean, it's such a good idea. The DCU is already trying to do that with HBO Max, but it's still not the same. It's not as seamless as what Marvel is doing because, there are 2 shows that have been greenlit already for HBO Max, that are moving quickly. Justice League Dark and the Green Lantern show are kind of like still on the back burner. But the Batman GCPD show and the Peacemaker show, spinoff from Suicide Squad, those are origin stories. So they're already out of the timeline. I mean, Feige continues, as I said, to tell one big story, which means you can't miss any of it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And it's, keep it simple, stupid. That's a very famous political comment. But I think it's, Feige is also living by that and succeeding. So we've been wondering how Kevin Feige will have time to sow the seeds for his Secret Invasion movie. Well, here you go. A Disney Plus series that will draw from the recent comic that nobody read, really. I read it, and I gotta tell you, it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but I saw potential there, and apparently Feige did too. So the basic pitch is that Skrulls are already living amongst us, which was revealed in Spider-Man Far From Home, with some of them agents of S.W.O.R.D., also teased at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. The question is, are all Skrulls working for S.W.O.R.D.? We'll talk about maybe some of them being evil in a moment. And we've already seen the emblem for S.W.O.R.D. on the set of WandaVision. So remember, S.H.I.E.L.D. will become S.W.O.R.D. S.W.O.R.D. and S.H.I.E.L.D. But S.W.O.R.D. has always had more of an extraterrestrial space element to it. Captain Marvel's always been a big part of S.W.O.R.D. There was a point in the comics where she ran S.W.O.R.D. So it really sets, it's perfect for going forward with the cosmic story like Secret Invasion. So anyway, now we'll either have some sleeper Skrulls who are not too friendly, right? Like the idea that the Skrulls are divided. Some of them love working for Nick Fury. Some of them don't, right? We've also discussed the theory that maybe Ben Mendelsohn's daughter will be a key player, either on the side of good, like Ben Mendelsohn, his character and his wife, or she'll she'll be, a traitor. She'll go over to the dark side because remember, she grew up with Monica. So Monica Rambeau on one side and her Skrull childhood friend on the other, I think is pretty compelling stuff. And don't forget that there's a Skrull queen or any kind of major female character, it could be in Kevin Feige's world, that needs to be a major player. And of course, Ben Mendelsohn, sure enough, had a daughter. All right, so back it up a moment. So the thing is like, but Skrulls are our friends now. So how many of them could be evil? Who turned them evil? Well, maybe it was the Kree, because it was also revealed in Spider-Man Far From Home, a crucial film in the MCU. Great movie. I love that thing. Not a lot of people talked about it when it came out, but it still did really well at the box office. But anyway, remember, it was revealed that there are Kree sleeper cells on Earth as well. So maybe they pulled over some Skrulls to work for them. They have to have some Skrulls working with them because Secret Invasion only works if you have Skrulls running around as evil sleeper agents impersonating Avengers. Not happy, nice ones like in Spider-Man Far From Home. I don't know. I'll be like, oh my God, first we have to find out if you're being impersonated by a Skrull, then we have to find out if it's a good or evil impersonation. That seems a bit complicated to me. All right, so anyway, by the way, speaking of the female Skrull character, in the comics, Jessica Drew, aka Spider-Woman, was revealed to have been kidnapped and replaced with the Skrull Queen, or a female Skrull of importance, a long time ago. So she could pop up on this show in her Skrull form and then be revealed in the Captain Marvel 2 movie to have been replaced, and then you meet the real Jessica Drew. Just as in the comic, they invade a Skrull ship and they're like, oh my God, there's humans captive here in the hold, and one of them is Jessica Drew. I can see it already. Then she goes off and has her own movie over at Sony, which, what do you know, Olivia Wilde has been hired to direct. And she even let it slip the other day that Kevin Feige is involved in her flick. And if this was what it was about, you could see why he would be involved. And Amy Pascal is like, yes, please overlap like this with me. You mean to tell me you're going to introduce Spider-Woman Jessica Drew and then I get the standalone movie? Woohoo! All right, so anyway, Kyle Bradstreet is the showrunner here, and he didn't create iRobot, but he was a writer on that show. So he is a great fit, I think, with the kind of conspiracy theory storytelling that is Secret Invasion. Now, again, I know some of you want to see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters get promoted to Sword in the MCU, but considering that Kevin Feige hates Jeff Loeb, hates him. He humiliated him with Inhumans. He was like, oh yeah, I'm going to incorporate Jeff Loeb's Inhumans into my MCU. And then when the time came, he said, no way in hell am I doing that. And then he got Jeff Loeb fired and took over the television division. So I don't really see that happening, to be honest with you. I think it's unlikely. I mean, I know that Quake is very, very, very popular, but if he takes one, he opens the door to taking the others. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. But never say never. I haven't heard from my sources about that happening, but I wouldn't like it. I think the cast of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., with all due respect, is just too TV. They're just too TV. So I would think it would drag down this show, to be honest with you. But I know it will make some of you very happy, so we'll see what Kevin Feige ultimately decides. I mean, if he's going to bring over Quake, how can he not bring over Daredevil? I mean, I think it's just a Pandora's box of problems for him. So, but again, I haven't heard anything about it either way. We'll see. So there you go. Bottom line, this is a Secret Invasion show starring Nick Fury, who's running Sword, and it leads up to Captain Marvel 2. And we'll see exactly how the Skrulls and the Kree fit in. But we do know that there are Kree sleeper cells on Earth, and we know that Sword is already up and running, and it's run by Skrulls. And we do know some of our Skrull players already, from Ben Mendelsohn and his wife to Ben Mendelsohn's daughter. And again, with the huge success of WandaVision out of the gate, that was so great that happened immediately because it allows Kevin Feige to move even faster. So expect more big names in the future, the near future, in the MCU to be willing to appear on Disney Plus after that debut. And that allows Feige to paint on his much, much bigger canvas. So how does this sound to you? Share your thoughts down below. Go pick up that Secret Invasion comic. Again, as I said, it's pretty good. Go back and read Secret Invasion, or read it if you haven't. Great story. One of the best stories ever. It's hard to believe Brian Michael Bendis is so crappy today, but yet he did such good stuff back in the day. He's a legend for a reason, even if he wasn't able to maintain it. All right, write your thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.